Welcome to the Scripts and Scenes podcast, a show where we check out movies and TV series. In each episode, we will review a show or a movie that we have recently watched. It could be something old or something new. And at the end of each show, we will let you know where it falls on our rating scale.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Today we're going to be doing Project Power, Netflix original movie.
What did you think about that movie, dude?
Okay, so that... Oh!
Calling you as your name and asking you the same question.
Look at you. Clever. Yeah, I very much enjoyed that movie. I think the first act of the movie is a little bit slow for my taste. It definitely has some... It probably actually has the most compelling action, if I'm being honest. I mean, I really liked the story overall. I'll say that the action scenes were just too fast cut. You can't really tell what was going on. There was one action scene that I really did enjoy, and we'll get to that later.
Yep.
But as for the first act, it was a bit too slow. Before Jamie Foxx's character meets, I guess the actress who plays Robin, Dominique Fishback, before they meet up and go start plot, for me it moved a little bit too slow.
Okay, all right. Well, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the premise of the movie. Like you were saying as well, like the action scenes, I felt like they were definitely a little bit too fast paced. Like they were just doing it like way too fast. As far as it goes, like for Netflix, I think it's a really great Netflix movie. It's like a good it's a good cult movie for Netflix. I feel like they'll definitely be remembered for this movie.
You think they'll do sequels? Because they definitely set up.
To be honest, it definitely plays like it could have been. But one of the things that really got me not upset, but I was just like, I like how it makes sense how they focused in one area. You know what I mean? Because that's your test site. You know what I mean? Like if you were the bad guys, that's where you want to test. Yes, we want to see if it works or not. It would have been a huge budget if they had to, go to multiple states and kind of cover that much land mass, I guess you could say. Like, what are the reports over here in the East Coast and the West Coast, up north, like around the world. Like, I feel like it'd be a really fast-paced movie. That would be an easier type of movie to say that there would be a sequel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because there would be a lot of plot. There would just be a lot of plot holes where people would be like, all right, well, what happened to this character over here? I think that's a missed opportunity for them. But depending on what they wanted to do with this project, I think they accomplished it, quite well. But what do you think? You think we should dive in and go off on our questions?
Let's do it.
Favorite and least favorite characters.
So right off the bat, it's heroes and villains.
Okay.
You got your three main characters, right? Or the three main heroes. You got Art, who's Jamie Foxx. You got Frank, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Robin, Dominique Fishback. They all do an amazing job bringing their characters to life. The roles that they play, I really like how they bounce off of each other. Like, you get the feeling that Jamie Foxx is the bad... I guess I should back up. Jamie Foxx was trying to get his daughter back, who's been kidnapped by some shady pharmaceutical people. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, police officer in New Orleans. Dominique Fishback, the average high school girl caught up in the middle of this. Although I guess she's not really the average high school girl because she's
selling that power, man.
She's selling power drugs on the streets, yeah. Definitely puts her outside of the category of normal high schooler.
Right.
But I liked the way they played off of each other. I liked that Jamie Foxx was, basically like the bad cop, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt was the good cop, always covered up with like one-liners and genuinely funny lines.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie, and Jamie Foxx was just serious and threatening, and they bounced off of each other really well, and the fact that they were what most of the movie focused on is why I enjoyed the movie.
Definitely. So yeah, I would say the same for me. My favorite character was Frank,
Hmm.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. He was, he was a local cop. It looks like he grew up there. He was a local man. He wants to really help New Orleans. What I really liked about him was at the end of the movie, he was still trying to fight the fight, even though they just went through what they went through. He was willing to get identified as a whistleblower by exposing the story that had happened, which
Yeah.
is, it's one of those things where it's like, for me, we watch a lot of movies. I like this role for him because it was kind of like his Robin role. Like he was like the Robin to Jamie Foxx's Batman. You know what I
Hmm.
mean, so to speak. So he was definitely that comic relief in this film, but also with a nice like sense of like empathy, and he had a lot of sympathy for the folks of New Orleans. My least favorite character, bro, honestly,
Yeah.
was Amy Landecker's character Gardner. Um, as a villain of this
Oh,
movie.
yeah. See, I didn't even remember her. That's
Yeah,
how.
but I had like this, like this is you watched this movie. This is your first time. This is my second time watching it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the first time I watched it, I was like, wow, like it's great again, to see like someone really taking charge and like just going at it. There was a quote in that movie. I will probably put it up here when we'll put the scene up because it's Netflix. So when we edit this, but it
Of
was
course, of course.
she was talking about there was like a lady that had like a tumor, and she was like, oh, the doctor. This is real history, by the way, like that you probably know. I've
Oh, yeah, Henrietta. We have the internet machine.
Yeah, if you want to look that up. But pretty much, they took a whole bunch of healthy cells and dead cells from her, and her cells are still used to this day as antibiotics for a lot of illnesses and sicknesses.
Henrietta Lacks.
Hmm?
Henrietta Lacks.
Henrietta Lacks. So look up Henrietta Lacks, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Which I thought was a pretty profound moment. I didn't know that. That was news to me. But I thought it was pretty cool how you know technology comes from you know trials, and you gotta go into that unknown realm. It wasn't a good thing. That it wasn't the best way for them to go about it, but the world was different then, but can't really judge. But I didn't like her character for the simple fact that she was bad at it. Like your biggest asset is in a room alone, no guards, a kid with no superpowers went
Yeah.
in there, and wow, I can't believe I'm just noticing this. Her name was Robin, and Joyce and Gordon-Levitt should have been a Robin. She was she was a great Robin. She went in there and boom, you know what I mean? She flapped her wings, she went into that room, took the daughter. Um,
Yeah.
this is
They even bring it up in the movie that this is the Batman. She's the Robin to the Batman.
like it's one of those things where a lot of people pay an homage, you know what I mean, to great movies and great roles, but I didn't like how much of I didn't like how much she sucked at her job. Like, you're the bad guy. You have all this money available to you. What are you doing to protect your biggest asset? Oh, you have this
Right,
one
right.
thing in a room, and you don't even check everywhere. Like, there was clearly like a silver, like a little case, and they went in there under the floor. Like, come on, like you knew that this girl had just went into
Yeah.
like a little like a back door earlier in the movie on the same boat. Don't you
Right.
think you should check?
You're not checking this thoroughly.
Like, come on.
What do you like on the Genesis?
Yeah, come on. So that was my least favorite character because I know that they just put her
Totally
in there
agree.
just to put her in there, but still, she could have done a better job.
I think the villains were very underwhelming, and I think why they were underwhelming was that we kept jumping between villains. So like when
Right.
Yeah, when the Genesis first post shows up at the beginning of the movie, and they're giving this drug called Power, which I guess we should explain a little bit for context.
Yep.
It's this drug. The premise of the movie is that there's this drug called Power that's being introduced to New Orleans.
Power.
And you take Power, and it gives you basically, or either blow you up because it doesn't react well with your body,
Mm-hmm.
or it'll enhance your genetic code. Yeah,
And
embedded.
kind of just like, yeah, and it'll make you feel like take over like some kind of animal's properties or
Yeah, and you get superpowers, and you
yeah,
get superpowers for 5 minutes, and that's it. Which is on its own a very interesting concept, I gotta say.
definitely.
But to get back to
They could work out on the bugs.
there you go. But you have a point where the Genesis shows up, and you have this character who's let's see played by Rodrigo Santoro's character.
Biggie.
He shows up, and he's giving the drugs to these dealers to peddle it onto the street for free. It's not about making money at this stage. It's about testing the product because
Awareness,
they
yeah.
product to a point where it's more than just 5 minutes. So you think, oh, he's the main bad guy, but then, oh no, Jamie Foxx is looking for someone else. This big bearded dude who's like muscle bound, and there's a scene where they're alone in the boat together, and you think, oh, this is where a major fight scene's going to happen, and then no, it just ends, and then it turns out that the woman is the main bad guy, and she's, as you were pointing out, her job. So none of them are able to like develop as villains.
Right.
Keep killing them off.
It's a lot of misdirection.
Last 30 minutes.
It's a lot of misdirection as to who is the main antagonist, who is the bad guy in this movie, and like that's a good game. It's a good game to play, but I felt like in a movie like this, you really need to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You really need to just show who's who from the jump. So that way you can identify everybody's character or
establish it right off the bat.
Exactly, because you don't like you could paint some mind like now they kind of build a bigger storyline on that guy Rodrigo Biggie Santoro. So everybody was just like, oh, he's the bad guy, like, oh, and then he was just like a Jekyll and Hyde Hulk, I guess you could call his power.
That was a very bad sequence too.
Yeah.
That sequence of what was his name in the movie?
Biggie, yep.
He takes the power and it turns him into basically. It literally looks like Jekyll and Hyde from
the Hulk and the Hulk, like.
Yeah, but like, what was the movie? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, I forget what year that.
I never saw it.
So that movie came out in like 2001.
Yeah. And
the CGI back then looked horrible. And it's basically just as bad in this movie when the Biggie turns into it. Like, it doesn't. It looks gross. I'm glad he's not on screen for that long, but I wish they had spent that money on something else because, like, he becomes this big, muscle-bound, disgusting monster, but then they kill him instantly by blowing him up. So, like, there's not even anything interesting with that power that's used.
It's crazy because when I saw him like grow or whatever, it reminded me of the enemy from the Hulk, like the guy that the army dude, that one that wants to be like Bruce Banner.
Oh, what's his name?
And what is it?
Abomination.
Abomination, yeah.
I was gonna say too. I was doing some just some searches here for the people involved in the making of this movie.
Oh,
and
nice.
while we're talking about, let's see if I can just pull up what
Leagues of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No, actually, while we were talking about Batman, Mattson Tomlin was a writer on this movie, and he is actually going to be writing the upcoming The Batman movie in 2020.
What's his name? I didn't catch it.
Mattson Tomlin.
Oh.
So I'm actually looking at his filmography now. This was his first. This is the first movie he ever wrote.
Oh. Is he writing the new Batman by himself?
He's got some co-writers.
Okay, but so he's probably spearheading it.
At the very least, like, this gives you some introduction. I mean, this is a superhero. You could definitely see why there's Batman references now.
Exactly. Which to me, it's like it was like a no-brainer. Not a no-brainer, but like it was too obvious. You know what I mean? For the average nerd, like for us, to not catch it. But yeah.
Smarter than your average nerd.
So let's see. Let's go into the next one.
The soundtrack.
So what did you think about the soundtrack? Was it good?
Honestly,
was it bad? Tell me what you thought.
It served what it needed to serve. It definitely fit the setting of not just the setting, but also the tone of the movie.
Right.
So I think it was competently put together. Outside of that, I don't have too many general thoughts on it. I don't think it was like groundbreaking or anything by any means.
Yeah, same. I think it was a good vibe. It was a good like New Orleans vibe type of music.
Yeah.
I like the hype around it, and it was definitely like it added energy and excitement to each scene. Yeah, it wasn't like a groundbreaking, soundtrack, but it was definitely good. I did like that Lil Wayne song in the beginning.
Yeah.
I got my head bopping, but it definitely added energy to every single scene.
Absolutely.
Like
it served the purpose.
Best quote or dialogue.
What was the best dialogue or the best quote that you heard in that movie? I heard like a few. I felt like I should have wrote down a couple more, but I think I like the two that I picked right now. So throughout the movie, what were some of your quotes that kind of just stood out to you?
Basically everything that Jason Gordon-Levitt says, he nails it.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where he mimics Clint Eastwood
Yep.
to get into the Genesis ship. Are you feeling lucky, punk? There's honestly.
Oh, my camera just fell.
There's a point where he's about to leave the control room that him and Robin have just taken over. And they got a battle plan. Makes sense. Robin will stay behind, watch the cameras, keep an eye on him.
Right.
While he navigates to the ship. And he bucks off and runs, and Robin's like, wrong way. And he goes the opposite direction. I know. Something about that scene and the delivery on the line. Nailed it.
Perfect. I would have to agree. So one of my favorite lines from I always say Jason. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, Frank, was when he came out the shower with with the mom, with Irene. That's Andreen Ward Hammond, her character Irene. So that's Robin's mom, and he's like, "Honey Bear, are we out of that hippie shampoo?" And like the way that he came out and just like said it, like it was one of those things where I was not disappointed. Like I was more surprised than anything. Like, and come to find out, that's the first time that he met her mom, which is.
Yeah,
it's
gotta be surprising,
and it's weird to be like, all right, so you said that you have a special relationship with my daughter, okay, like
a professional relationship.
Yeah, a professional relationship.
Save me from these cops.
Like that was a little weird, but I think it was well played. It was definitely well acted, and I know the characters and the actors had a lot of fun playing that scene.
Yeah, for sure.
My other favorite one was kind of like, after a while it was all over the movie, but it was the "Am I lying?" Like every single time, like, just look at me. Am I lying? Because it was just showing like I'm serious. I know what I'm trying to say right now, and I'm really just not bullshitting anybody right now. So look at me right now. Am I lying? Am I lying? All right.
Favorite character pair-up.
That's honestly a very good one. I'm not sure if it's just a pair-up, but I'll say it, and I'll reiterate it. The three leads in this movie half of each other so perfectly that it really is the only. Honestly, yeah, I'll say the concept for this movie is very, very good. A lot of the execution falls flat, like I was talking about when it comes to editing and the villains and action sequences. Which action sequences are really going to be important in a movie like this.
Right.
The fact that they were sort of lackluster was disappointing, but I found myself only coming back because of the characters, because of our three mains. And I think that the movie greatly benefited from the fact that it just focused on those three. And they were the ones who carried us through this whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely worked well off each other. They piggybacked well off each other, and they kind of all had, like a calling to this mission. I think it was nice. Everybody was drawn together, and they were kind of like, they were cut from the same cloth. And once, one person was trying to help another, the other one was trying to help another. So it meshed well together, too well. For me, like it was one of those partnerships that they built a lasting relationship, a friendship, and it would be great if they did a sequel. You know what I mean? Just going off of these three people, four at the end, but the way the story. No, the struggle that they went through as all three of them, I think they definitely 100% grew from each other. They grew, and they really developed themselves. Like they grew as characters. They grew as people within that world. My favorite pair up was the mom and Frank.
Oh yeah,
just because like the improvisation, like the call to action, so to speak. When he was in the house, you know what I mean? He was streaming the cops, asking them where their badges, and then the mom was like, "Yeah, where are your badges?" Like
where's your warrant?
Where's your warrant? She's like, "Yeah, you didn't show me a warrant." Like she went like right in front of the camera, so that was like hilarious. That was super.
Yeah.
And
it was clever.
Yeah, it was clever, but and that was the appeal that that was the appeal that I got from Frank, from Joseph's character, where he was just like on the ball every time. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this guy did like improv classes or like stand up or stuff.
In his downtime.
Yeah, like this dude was just like boom, like on there, like honey bear, where's that hippie shampoo? And then he was like, where's these guys? He was like,
yeah, well, what are you doing in my house?
For real. He was like, oh, you're allergic to cats? He's like, what, are you mad because I'm white and she's black? What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
All of that was just like, it was my second time watching it, you know what I mean? So I was already expecting it, but I was waiting for it because it was such a great... I already knew that this was my favorite pair-up before I even started watching that movie the second time. Like, I just knew.
I can see that. It was only a few moments, but the sequence they share. And I think it's really both Jamie Foxx and Jason Gordon-Levitt. Or Joseph Gordon-Levitt, sorry. Both of them, I keep on trying to say Jason.
All right, I don't know why. I get it too.
Maybe it's because I'm thinking of Jason Todd and Robin. But
oof.
The way they come up with like how to get to the next scene, like you were saying, shows up for the shower. He's like, all right, I'm gonna strip, put a towel on, get my hair wet, bust out, and then just start talking shit to these people.
Yeah.
To get them out of my home or to get them out of the way, like basically disarm them in such a way that they can't do anything.
Exactly.
Or when Jamie Foxx, when he gets into the club and he spills he's there pretending to be drunk and arguing. Spills the drink so the bouncer stops looking and just starts beating the shit out of him. Like
misdirection. We're going to break real quick for an ad, all right?
My favorite part.
Wait a little bit. We'll be right back. Listen to this ad and then you'll hear us.
Are you tired of searching through Amazon and other big box stores for ethical and eco-friendly products? Find all you need and more at the eco-friendly online marketplace, Earth Hero. They have a huge collection of clothes, personal care items, kitchenware, and so much more. The best part is that these products are made with the earth in mind. You can pick from products that are sourced, manufactured, and shipped in a way that protects our planet's future. Earth Hero has done the work so that you don't have to. Do yourself and the earth a favor. Go to earthhero.com and use promo code Joel10 for 10% off your order. Again, that's Joel10, Joel10 at earthhero.com.
Speaking about saving the planet, can we talk for a moment about the real heroes of this movie?
The special effects team.
Special effects?
Effects team.
Yes.
Special effects team. I'm going to put this together. I gave my criticism talking about how a little bit underwhelming the CGI is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this This movie was made for $85 million. Not a lot of not a lot of money in the terms of modern movies. Especially, I mean, I know this is straight to Netflix, but if this hit theaters, that would be that's a pretty cheap movie. Well, I shouldn't say cheap, but inexpensive movie compared to your standard Hollywood blockbuster.
True, with this level of content.
Yeah, so I wouldn't fault it too much for having a couple of scenes that are a bit cartoony. I will say the more human the characters were, like anytime, or I should say the more human the characters appeared, the better it looked. Like when somebody's on fire or somebody's turning into a giant orc monster, it looks fake. But when it's just a dude who's bulletproof, or
the invisible guy,
yeah, or a guy who can turn invisible, like that works.
Or that lady from the Frozen movie.
Actually, that scene I was going to mention too is probably my favorite action scene when she's in the glass cage and it's just a panic.
All right, but you can't talk about your favorite scenes because that's the next segment. That's the next topic.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll hold my tongue for now.
Yes. The special effects though in that room, in that scene, oh my God, killer! Like Killer Frost.
Hey,
but it was dope.
X-Men, give us money.
I don't know if I know you're into YouTube and stuff. There was the guy, her boyfriend is actually like a real life YouTuber. I forgot his name.
Oh, wait, I think he looked familiar.
It was that he's known for having a big nose. Casey Neistat. I don't know how to pronounce that, but his name is Casey. But I'm sure if you look up Casey on YouTube, you guys know who it is. If you're watching this and you know who he is by me mispronouncing his name, you probably know exactly who it is. But I thought it was pretty cool. I like that a lot of Netflix movies are getting a lot of these like Instagram and YouTube influencers on the screen because it's giving them a nice roster to work with if you'd allow that in court.
Maybe we have an acting career lined up soon.
You know, hey mates, I'm here, man. I'm ready. Sign me up. I don't know who would be the biggest studio I would work for. Disney. I don't take nothing less than $50 million a second.
No. Not after last week's rant.
I mean, they could pay me, but they got to pay me to let them know that. So, special effects. Talk to me. What? You don't like it when it's too cartoony, but as long as it plays more to the human like aspect side of it, that's when you're.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely the transition when they take the pill, and you see their cells begin to change. Certainly interesting.
Definitely.
Again, it's a little bit fast-paced and sharply edited, but all in all, it's serviceable. It does the job that the movie needs it to do. True.
So true. So it was dope for me to see how Machine Gun Kelly's character Newt takes the pill for the first time, because it's scenes like this in movies that just make you get immersed in the film right away. So I kind of felt bad when you told me you didn't like the first part, but that's all right. I usually like equate this scene in a movie to watching a trailer for like a scary movie for the first time, you know, and they tease the monster or the ghost, and you can't wait to go to the theater to see like the big reveal, I guess. So you know, you want to see if it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I think this movie did a very nice job in getting people hooked on Power right from the beginning. And you know, like the high-pitched music that was playing in the background helped with making it an intense scene, and it all really played well together. And I just felt like, you know, like you said, if it's gonna be cartoony, it's why even do it? Like it's not an animated film, you know. Like I get it, CGI. Right. You're spending $85 million on something, so you know you got to make those, you know, $1 million moments count. And when he took the pill and you see it like being ingested, and you see his eyes and his pupils dilate, and his whole, like, he's basically like transforming into the Human Torch, you know, like the propane version. Like, this guy's just like going crazy. Like, that to me, like, that first scene was awesome. And you know, and the way that he was reacting to the to Biggie's character, it was like, you know, he was always questioning and everything, like he's a know-it-all, but he was, you know, he seemed super dedicated to the cause, if you ask me. You know, it looked like he was burnt a couple times already, before even, you know, taking that pill that first time. But seeing him sizzle in the bathtub when Jamie Foxx's character tricked him to go in the shower, and I'm gonna say that so people could watch that scene. I thought it was pretty cool how Jamie Foxx tricked him and he kind of got him in that bathtub. I thought it was pretty cool, and that's kind of what you want to do when you are in a house with an actual fire. You know, you want to get damp towels and such. I feel like it was definitely a really well played out, you know, entry, you know what I mean, to the whole what is power, what can this little pill do to the average human. So, you know, for the special effects in the beginning, they did a really nice job. You could see, like, with the other characters, they didn't really you know, they didn't really give them much to go off of. Jamie Foxx's scene at the end, though, that was something else. But yeah,
I'll say that was an impressive scene. He's just, what animal was he get the power from? Some type of bullet shrimp or something?
He was a pistol shrimp.
Pistol shrimp.
Yeah, and I liked how he was saying it. He told the dude, he was like, "Guess who I am?" And then boom, he popped that thing, and next thing you know, he was like Magneto and shit.
Just melting people.
Dude.
Hotter than the surface of the sun.
Top 3 favorite scenes.
Alright, okay. I'll begin to bring it up, but I'll put it into third place because I think it is the best action sequence in the film. When, I guess, Moto, the Casey Nisset's girlfriend there, when she's in this glass dome and she has temperature control, so she's able to basically be like, you know, Elsa from Frozen. Shit goes wrong outside the dome or outside this glass cage, and there's an action scene breaking out. And for most of the action scenes in the movie, you get this, like, it's very fast editing, very...
Jamie Foxx is kicking ass, and all you could see is Elsa inside of this, like, container.
Yeah, all you can see is Elsa, and it's her, because it's her panic. Because you're following her panic as she moves around the circular cage, and you're following the room. Panic and the chaos that's going on outside flows better. I like that.
Yeah. So my number 3, I didn't really rank the ones that I have as number 3, so I'll throw them out there. I have a good number 1. So my number 3, just because it wasn't real, was her rapping in class.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, her teacher was trying to call her out, like, "Oh, your grades suck. You're not really doing much, and if you don't got school, what do you have?" And it was like the Joker movie where her friend was like, "Oh, she's gonna rap," and you know, she went off. She said this rap, and it was dope. Like she basically had the ingredients to go viral with that freestyle.
Yeah.
But if it was real, it would have been dope. However, she did get her wish at the end, you know. But it's one of those things that I would say that was a top 3 just because it was like a dream sequence type of thing. So that was my number 3. We got your number 3. Let's go with your number 2.
Number 2, I'm going to go with, continuing on the rapping theme when she's trying to prove herself to Jamie Foxx. And she raps to him. And it's a fulfillment of the earlier setup from basically, I guess, the dream sequence.
Yep.
She's able to she's just like, say a word, and she'll do a rap around that word to freestyle. And it was entertaining, it was funny, It was clearly talented.
Yep.
Enjoyable. I'll give it a solid enjoyable.
See, it's crazy because that was my number two. My number two,
Really?
yeah, my number two was when she
My God.
when she raps for Jamie Foxx and he goes, "Ooh," he's like, "Okay, okay, okay." Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, it's true. Like she was, what was the words? It was feline, seismograph, and antibiotic.
Antibiotic.
Yeah, she was going in. We're gonna break real quick for an ad, all right?
My favorite part.
Are you tired of searching through Amazon and other big box stores for ethical and eco-friendly products? Find all you need and more at the eco-friendly online marketplace, Earth Hero. They have a huge collection of clothes, personal care items, kitchenware, and so much more. The best part is that these products are made with the earth in mind. You can pick from products that are sourced, manufactured, and shipped in a way that protects our planet's future. Earth Hero has done the work so that you don't have to. Do yourself and the earth a favor. Go to earthhero.com and use promo code Joel10 for 10% off your order. Again, that's Joel10, Joel10 at earthhero.com.
I got a great number one.
What's your number one?
My number one is, all right, so I'll tell you mine since you went first the first two times. So my number one has to, I'm gonna see if you could guess my number one, because it had to do within that same environment that Elsa or that Frozen lady was in. Any guesses? Anything in there that kind of, made you like awe in the moment?
When Jamie Foxx kills that dude at the ice pick?
Dude, oh my god. He's the dude walks up to Jamie Foxx and he's like, "Hey man, do you need to be here? Like, I don't think you are the dude that's usually here." And he's like, "Nah man, I am. Look at this list." Brings him into this like centerpiece icicle thingy, just bashes his head on the icicle. Like, the fountain is no more like, it's not serving like ice water or whatever, freaking vodka, tequila, whatever the hell it was. She was blood. Like, it was so quick and just,
cold.
Oof, it was cold, quick, and sudden. Just like what, bro? Like, holy shit! Like, ow, that shit would kill. Oh man, but yeah, that was my favorite scene. I would say that was my number one scene. How about yours? What was your number one?
Honestly, when Jamie Foxx, or not Jamie Foxx, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt is trying to get onto the Genesis, and he's like, "Hey, your boss has to give my boss $10,000 or whatever," and he's just like basically trolling the security guard there.
Yep.
Basically, his character he can weasel his way into any situation by just being a prick. And I think that was the epitome of that.
True, and she kept on saying, like, do the thing, do the Clint Eastwood impression.
Did the Clint Eastwood, gets shot, gets back up, because my power is I'm bulletproof.
Yo. That was a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept on, like, teasing him, like, I bet you practiced that in the mirror. And you had your gun out and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, I did.
Messages from the movie.
So there were parts when they kept talking about like how dangerous this drug was that I just kept thinking of drugs are bad, okay, from South Park.
I might save your life someday, okay?
Okay, Mr. Mackey, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the theme of this movie. Mr. Mackey was right.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah.
You should have listened to him.
See, okay, well, for me, the theme of the movie, or like the message of the movie was that, family and loyalty can make you do things that may seem terrible to others, and at the end, it's really for like a just cause. You make choices in life that are that are not outwardly positive, but
Yeah, it makes sense.
family above all, including one's own safety and preservations. For me, for a Deadpool rating. Oh, and before we get into the Deadpool ratings, I think I feel like I really like skipped over it on the first video. So when you guys see that, I'm sorry, but that was the first video. We were kind of just like spitballing stuff. So number one is don't watch it. We don't recommend it. It's shitty. You're gonna waste valuable life on watching it if we give it a 1. A 2, you can have it as background noise, I guess. A 3, background noise, somewhat watchable. Not really an enjoyable movie, but it's a 3. You know, it's
middle of the road.
You know, it's like. I know I'm gonna take this line from a review that we did about Jumanji. A 3 is pretty much like the movie that you're forced to see at the movie theaters when the one that you wanted to see isn't available. All right, so that's what a 3 is. A 4, I would say a 4 is like you could watch it, you know, it's not, you're going to watch it twice back to back or 3 times, but, you know, it's rewatchable, you know, you can, you know, you might fall asleep. I fell asleep watching this one the second time, I'm not going to lie. I have this habit of just like,
fired.
I have a habit of eating a really big meal while I watch a movie and just knocking out. But a 5 is must watch. We highly recommend it. You know, if you want to throw anything in there, please do.
Okay, I'm sorry. What rating were you giving this?
Oh, I didn't rate it yet. I was just defining the terms of the rating scale because I felt like I brushed over it the first time.
100% agree with that, with the terms of the rating, and I 100% stand by my rating. I'm giving it 3 Deadpools.
You're giving it 3 Deadpools?
Yep,
Okay.
It was. If the movie that I want to go to the theaters wasn't there, but this movie was playing, and I went to watch that movie, you know what? Not money's not wasted.
Nice. So it's not you wouldn't be disappointed in having this as your second choice, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. I think mine would be a 4. I would definitely you know, it's not just because it was a Netflix movie, but because it had that recipe, you know, like just now today finding out that the guy that's writing in the new Batman movie wrote this movie. Like this is his first movie. Like that just makes me want to probably even watch it a 3rd time just because that's how nerdy I am. Like I just want to be able to pick it and be like, oh my God, this was where they did this and they said that and blah 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 blah. But
makes you excited.
Yeah, you know, like that feeling, like we were highlighting in the first episode. He was passionate about this movie. You could tell this $85 million. It could have been a low budget, but hey, if Netflix is giving me $85 million, I'll bang out a freaking blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Like
there you go.
This movie had the right ingredients. It delivered. It was you know really great actors, and I think everybody had, you know, for the heroes, you know, they had a really great story. They had a really good tie-in together. The villains sucked, but
that's the weak part.
Yeah, and the fact that you even mentioned that it was a Batman writer, I felt like this villain was written like a bad Batman villain. Like it was like one of those like one-shot villains. You know what I'm saying? Like the twins or whatever. Like some crappy like, oh, I'm just a bad guy because I started this project, but oh no, you foiled my plan. You got me. Oh, like I'm done. Oh, you're super
exactly.
It's like, you know, it was like a legit one-shot villain. But you know, I give it a 4. I give it 4 Deadpools.
All right.
Yeah. So
I think it's safe to say we both enjoyed this movie. I think it's watch.
I liked it.
Next week's Super September. If any of you kids from our childhood kids want to go back to your childhood. And
I'm Gen Y, just to make that clear. I Googled it. I think I sent you the picture. I sent
he
you the
corrected
picture.
me because I called him a millennial, but I was surely mistaken.
Hey, but that was on the spot. Like that was a quick guess. Like I was like, holy crap.
But next week we are doing Shark Boy and Lava Girl for our Super September. So if you want to waste an hour,
it's gonna get fishy, folks.
Oh,
it's gonna be a wet and wild ride.
And pretty, yeah, we'll see what happens.
It's gonna get hot. I thought you were gonna say it's gonna get hot.
I was, but then I remember that it's probably not.
I mean, lava. I mean, I mean, I think it's a movie that a lot of kids watched when we were young. Like I know I watched it. I watched like 1, 2, 3. That one, I think that was like the one where they changed the characters, if I'm not mistaken. But
now you think of Spy Kids.
Oh, this isn't Spy Kids?
This is not Spy Kids.
Oh, wow.
You're gonna be in for a treat then.
Oh man, well yeah. So what we're doing is we're watching superhero movies on Netflix this month, and we decided to go with a nostalgic choice, a throwback. For superheroes, and this was on there, so
because it's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, and it'll definitely be able to hit all of our topics, and we'll be able to waste an hour of our lives for you, and that way you could watch it if you're curious. You can not watch it, but you'll know what we know, and there you go.
Frame it.
This was the easiest project that I had to do, was pretty much cut a whole bunch of pieces of paper and put them into a bucket. But, with technology, I'm going to just pull up a random number generator. Let's see. So how long was the movie?
114 minutes.
114 minutes? All right. So 114 minutes. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's spin it. All right, so we got 38.
Minute 38.
Minute 38. I don't have Netflix.
I'm gonna pull up 38.
All right, pull up 38, but don't describe what's on the screen yet, because right now I can only do full whole numbers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a timer on, right? And I'm gonna ask my girlfriend to stop. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. So the moon is actually literally made out of cheese. My colleague doesn't believe this because he's been taken in by the government and their anti-cheese propaganda. All right, I'm telling you, it's all run by dairy farmers, and they're trying to convince us otherwise. But there's a limitless supply of cheese. It's in the sky, and we can grab it anytime we want. And I wasn't talking about anything crazy.
Exactly. All right. So my girlfriend's here. She's gonna tell me when to stop. You're on minute 38, right?
I'm on minute 38.
All right, baby. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right. I'm at marker 36.66. Should we round up or stay at 36?
Let's see what I can get. Because I gotta wiggle it.
A few moments later.
All right, I think this counts.
Eventually.
38, 36.
38, 36?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, dude. All right. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to assign this picture of where it's framed, right? And we're going to send that to one lucky viewer. In order to qualify, you have to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel and just comment, I want to frame it. So again, comment, I want to frame it on the YouTube channel. I'm going to post that in the description. Looking at this, screenshot, it's just one of those things where it's like, you're not going to forget this movie if you have this in your bedroom or in your wallet or in your car.
if you have this with our signatures on it, and someone asks, "Hey, that's not Jamie Foxx's signature. What are you doing with this?" I have a story.
Exactly. So, I mean, and it's free. You know, it costs you nothing. So, you know, smash that like button.
Destroy that bell for notifications.
You know, get notified whenever we release a video, which will be every Friday starting a Friday in the future.
No context. What do you think's going on in this scene? Because I think he is aggressively checking out the kale in this grocery store.
I honestly think that he has something in his eye now that he put like the glasses on, or he's just trying them on. He's trying to look good for a lady. You know, he has a nice little Hawaiian shirt. You know, he's trying to.
Maybe he does have a Hawaiian shirt. I didn't notice that.
You know, he's trying to look good right now. He's in. I think he's in Miami. You know, didn't he play in Miami Vice? This is probably a scene from Miami Vice. Who knows? Are we messing with you guys? Ooh.
Maybe he's.
Yo. Ooh.
Or can I say that?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe he's and he's thinking, I gotta put some sunglasses on to hide my. But he forgot that those aren't actually sunglasses.
I was just gonna say that.
So he's gonna walk through the store and forget to pay for them.
Oof. Watch this movie. I think this is a really great watch. It's a surprising movie, surprising in the sense where you don't know what's going on. We might have kind of already definitely spoiled it for you, but
oh, absolutely.
But hey, I mean, what's better than a surprise that you know is coming? You know, it's gonna be great. You already got our reviews from it. I gave it a 4. You gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3.
He gave it a 3. You know, he's a lot humbler this episode than the last movie that we watched, and we didn't even get to finish the other movie. So
because it was that. You know, because I already talked too much about how Mulan was awful. Don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
Watch that video. Watch that episode. That's going to be episode 0. This is episode 1. I do want to end this video by asking the viewers to also message us movies to watch in October. We're going to watch scary movies in October, so we don't really care what we watch because, you know, we love watching movies. We love it. You know, we've been doing this unofficially for like our whole entire time knowing each other. How many times would we go to like the movie theaters on Tuesdays, dude?
Dude, I tried to go once before the world ended. I tried to go once a week.
Exactly. So, you know, I would go by myself. Like that was like the first time when I was just like, you know what? Yeah, like why not? We love doing this stuff. We're gonna save this screenshot. We're gonna mail it, or yeah, we'll mail it to somebody. One lucky viewer, subscriber, sharer person. And, you know, make sure that, you know, you stick around and you let us know what scary movie we should watch in October. This has been the Scripts and Scenes podcast. We hope you've enjoyed our show. We look forward to having you join us for our future reviews. If you've enjoyed this show, please subscribe and leave a review using your favorite podcasting app. We will be putting out videos every Friday. See you then.